Hey guys, thank you for joining my channel. I mean, connecting with me. Thank you for connecting with me because this is what this is. It's not following, it's looking and resonating if that's what you do, if you watch the entire video. Um, yeah. So I wanted to talk about how moving in alignment with what brings you joy is a gift. I feel like I'm trying to stop saying I feel like. Yeah. Okay. Um, but it is. It really is such a gift to have something that excites you. And, I have family members and friends who've told me that they don't know what they want to do. And it always kind of hurts my heart a little bit. And I think I'm realizing why that is just now because it's because it sounds strange to me and I've never quite been in that space. I don't think, well, I have, but it didn't last. So, I mean, it's okay. They're meant to be in that space for now. It's just on the flip side of it, when you realize and appreciate the beauty of anything, whatever it is. For me right now, it's these videos that just make you feel more alive and that bring you joy. You realize what a gift that is because imagine having nothing in this world and I'm sure I'm not sure, but maybe at the time, they can't think of anything to do, right? Because consuming is like something that brings people joy. Consuming on social media, definitely, you're literally consuming people's energy. So that does give you life in a sense, right? But having something to do from yourself, something that you create, whatever that looks like, a new business or um, whatever it is, it really is a gift. And even though it's inherent and it's intrinsic to us because we are creators ourselves, I guess it's a gift to know what brings you joy. And at the same time, it's also a gift to just be willing to try new things. Um, and yeah, it's a gift to be willing to try new things because, when you've been on both sides of the coin, like you've been on the side where you're very close to losing all hope, you realize that even hope is a gift. You realize that the gift of life itself is something that is so precious. Um, and oh, you know what I had thought of earlier? That, okay, guys, I almost lost it. Um, the gift of life is so precious, but it's so easy to take it for granted. Like in my world, if you're not doing, if you're not striving for freedom, if you're not doing what brings you joy, if you're not trying to be the happiest person that you can, then you're taking the gift of life for granted. That's just in my world, though. But that's not to say I haven't as well taken life for granted in terms of not moving forward when I was able to. It's just like how people say the youth take their health for granted, whatever that phrase is, right? Uh, and I mean, it's true. That's why every older person says it because, and it doesn't take long to realize that because people have health issues in their 20s or younger, obviously kids too. But, in the 20s and the 30s, you have health issues. And if you don't have if those issues go away for a time, then it's like you feel the difference. And when they're here, unless you're accustomed to it, which not all of us are, but that's all to say that I want to encourage you to move when you're in an easy place or when it doesn't have to be easy, but move when you're okay because, as I had mentioned before, the tendency we have sometimes is to devolve. And when you devolve or you regress instead of progressing, it feels that much harder, or it can feel that much harder. Um, it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. But it won't feel much harder if you're mentally in the space that it won't feel much harder. But if you're not mentally at a certain point, then it's just going to be an excuse on top of another excuse or a reason on top of another reason why you can't do this thing or that thing. So, for me personally, there's a lot of things I've made harder for myself. And I didn't have to, of course, because life doesn't ever have to be hard. But this whole experience, this Earth game, is about challenges. So it was never supposed to be easy either. I don't like things to be too easy either. It would be very boring, and boredom is horrific, I think. So, find a middle ground. But if there's something you want to do, don't keep waiting for too long and don't take for granted if you're mentally in a good space, use that. Use that space and move. Okay? Especially if there's things you're learning in your journey and you need to integrate them. Remember, integration is embodiment, integration is application. So apply what you know and just don't take things for granted. I hope I encouraged you. I will see you in the next one.